Hi there, I'm VPL from the Lived Perspective. I'm a white-skinned, short, reddy-browny haired human after attacking it myself without my scissors. Wearing a blue rib jumper, standing in my kitchen on unceded Ngunnawal and Ngambri Lands, bringing you Mental Health Month Musings 8. These pocket notes on person-centered care. Hey there, I'm also just, while I'm talking, chopping potatoes to bake, that I thought I would try this multitasking thing again. I'm aware, and apologies that there was no Mental Health Month Musings 7 yesterday. To be fair, it's been an insane week. Those of you that read my blog post that went up on Tuesday will have some idea why. And I got to Friday night after a full day workshopping scripts for a project with Ruby's Theatre, and hit a massive wall and needed to go to bed. But that's actually the framework of the clinician-consumer scenario that I want to put up today. Person-centered care is not about what works for you. Consumer and clinician. Starting with the clinician. So you're telling me that, you're having a bit of a down period and, life is getting really, really hard for you. What does that look like? Well, I get up and I do the things I need to do. And it's relentless. I can't switch off. So when I go to bed, I can't rest. I can't sleep. There's just too much going on. Oh, so how are you going with those mindfulness techniques that we've been working on? They really don't work for me. What do you mean? Well, I have been working on the breathing techniques, but the problem is that my anxiety, I think, is getting in the way. So when I'm focusing on my breathing, I collapse. What do you mean you collapse? I mean, like, I start focusing on the breathing and I literally fall off my chair. I don't think you're doing it right. Well, yeah, but I'm following the practices that, we were working on. Like, don't you remember that I fell over? Nearly fell off the chair when I was here last. Oh, yeah, but I think you're working too hard. I think you need to go back. And I think you need to revisit the videos that I gave you. And I think you need to think less about it. Yeah, but I've been doing this for about 3 weeks now, and I keep going back and I keep trying to simplify it, and it's too hard for me. Yeah, I just don't think you've got the knack yet. It takes time, It took me ages to work out how to do mindfulness properly. I understand, but I've been doing some reading and, been reading about, the principles behind mindfulness, and I do mindfulness in different ways. Oh, really? What does that look like? Well, when I'm making a cup of tea, I really just pay attention to what I'm doing. I also really like silence. I get up very early and I read and I reflect and I write. Oh yeah, but that's not mindfulness. What do you mean? Well, no, mindfulness is about clearing your mind and not thinking of anything. But what about somatic processing? Oh, that's different. And that's good for some things, but it's not good for other things. So when I'm singing and I'm focusing just on the notes and just on getting that right, that's not mindfulness. No, because mindfulness is about you being connected to your breath and not thinking about anything, just focusing on your breath. But if I'm connected with my breath and the notes that I'm hitting, oh no, that's too complicated. And sing. Person-centered care is not about what works for you. If you are the clinician in that scenario, if you were to step up and say stop at any point in that scenario and step in and play as a clinician, how would you shift the narrative? Just before I sign off, I do want to note that in my Mental Health Month Musings 6, I got the delivery of that little bit wrong, and I asked you if you were the consumer how you would shift the narrative. But it's always at the moment, at this stage, about if you were the clinician, how you would shift the narrative. I do have intentions later in Mental Health Month to start playing with some of these concepts a bit. I think I mentioned that in Mental Health Month 6. But for now, we're workshopping or foruming the position at which the clinician might be able to engender a more person-centred outcome. So I'll leave you to think about it, and I'll catch you on the flip side.